Hello and welcome to Not Without My Sister, where today not only am I not without my sister, but I'm not without my baby. So if you hear any gurgling in the background or screaming, it'll be the baby. Or Beatrice's kids.
That's what you should say next time when you're farting. It's the baby.
I do that all the time at home.
It's
like,
the baby.
God, did you hear that? That was Atlas.
So what are we talking about today?
Today we thought we would talk about the apocalypse. Apocalypse now.
No, excuse me. This is Not Without My Sister. Today, Rosemary offered to feed me her breast milk, and we decided only in an apocalypse.
That is not what happened.
Only in an apocalypse.
I posited a hypothetical question, which was, if there was an apocalypse and we ran out of food, Atlas, shh. If there was an apocalypse and we ran out of food, it's very distracting. How long could we survive? Like, could we all survive on my... Say if there was enough food for one person, right? I've decided... No. This is it.
Very elaborate.
Sorry. Let me start again. If there was an apocalypse, and in this apocalypse we were left with enough food to keep one person alive for a year, and that person is me, because I'm the hungriest. I get to eat all the food. Could I sustain everyone else on my breast milk alone? That was my question.
That was not the... It was nowhere near that long.
Oh, I said if there was an apocalypse, could I keep everyone alive on my breast milk? Yeah. But I meant assuming I'm being kept alive by food.
I wasn't even worrying about the logic of it, right? I just immediately was like, if there was an apocalypse and I was faced with a barren wasteland and the only sustenance would be milk squeezed from your titty, titties, then would I be desirous of living? I mean, actually, I'm sure I would be. I'm sure I would be, honestly.
No, you wouldn't. Can I just say, if there was any kind of apocalypse, you would immediately, as we have discussed many times, lie down and die. As would I. Be like, I'm not running through any snowy fields.
I would run through snowy fields very slowly. Well, like, as long as I had now, in this apocalypse, do I have all of my snow gear? I don't even have enough snow gear right now.
Okay, so no, you have exactly what you have now.
Okay. I have a pair of Uggs, and as I fell 3 times last year when the kids went out on their tiny little, what would you call it? Like, it's not a sleigh, it's like a tiny little handheld sledding thing.
I don't know.
It's a tiny little thing with a handle that they slide down on their knees. And last year they were on it, and then one of them tipped over into the ravine, and they were hanging by the. They were hanging by
me about this.
They were hanging by the tendrils of the tree, and I heard screaming. So I looked out the window. I don't know where you were. Looked out the window. I was here with Kerry, and I looked out the window, and I saw one of them just standing there screaming, and the other one holding onto the twigs. Anyway, I ran out. Didn't even put on my gloves. Didn't even stop. Didn't think. Just thinking, save these babs, save these babies.
But you're wearing your Uggs.
I was wearing my Uggs. I slipped not once, not twice, but 3 times on my arse.
On your way to save the kids.
In the space of about 10
feet. They must
feet,
actually have been there going, don't bother, Mom. Forget it.
They had actually, to be quite honest, they climbed back up by the time I got down. I was raging. My arse was killing me, and I was absolutely soaked. Yeah.
Okay, so imagine it's an apocalypse. All you have is your Uggs.
Zombies. And snow.
There could be zombies.
Yeah.
Or like, even if there aren't zombies, everybody's gone wild. So people are like looting, they're trying to steal your food, they're coming up your driveway with guns. You and I would just lay down, and there wouldn't be any question of like, are we going to drink Rosemary's breast milk? It'd be like, I'm going to hide in the basement. As soon as somebody shows up with a gun, I'm dead.
No, sorry, I'm going to barter Rosemary and her breast milk.
That is... For what?
It would only... For my life. It would only work once, though. And then I'd be like... You know what? What was the conversation we had recently with Don, where Don was like, wouldn't it... What was the conversation we had recently? Like,
I really hope this was not a conversation about my boobs. I don't know where this is going.
You look delighted with that. Like, honestly, you're such a weirdo that you even went there.
I was just listening to...
No.
I need to tell... No, shut up. I need to tell you, this is an important segue. I was just listening to Celebrity Memoir Book Club podcast I quite like, because Sophie White, my friend, author Sophie White, listens to it, and so I decided I'd listen to it. So I've got sick of all my murder podcasts. But they were talking about Jessica Simpson's book, and one of their things is how obsessed she was with the fact that boys fancied her because of her big boobs. And I was thinking, relatable.
How How is that remotely relevant?
So I was just thinking about how you think I'm obsessed with my boobs and Jessica Simpson's obsessed with her boobs, and those two things are related.
I don't think you are obsessed with your boobs. You used to be madly obsessed with your own boobs, but I think it was an insecurity thing. Sorry,
I just thought they were my only good thing, my only good point.
I'm confident that it was an insecurity thing, right?
This has gone to a dark place.
Anyway, I can't believe that on all of these threads, it's always like, I wish Beatrice would stop interrupting Rosemary. Has anybody noticed that all you do is interrupt me? You know, and also I read this, I think I've already said this in my defense. It sounds like the lady doth protest too much, but I read this thing about, what was it called? Overlapping interruption or overlap. Wasn't that it? Overlapping
constructive overlapping or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want to be known as. She interrupted, like, she constructively overlaps.
God, she's a real constructive overlapper.
Exactly. Anyway, now I'm wondering if Don would, because he's probably going to be like, you're taking this out of context. Anyway, he was talking about, like, what was he talking? I can't remember why you were there. I can't remember why we were having this conversation, but he started talking about, like, not wouldn't it be great, but can you imagine if it was, you were talking about selling your breast milk. Donating your breast milk.
Donate, yes. Not selling. I mean, I was never talking about selling my breast milk. I was talking about donating my breast milk to the milk bank, which I can't do because I lived in Ireland between the years of 1985 and 2000.
Okay.
Very annoying.
Anyway, thanks for that. Anyway, Don then
said... I thought sometimes it might be handy to give people a bit of information. That was a constructive overlap. I'm stopping now. Go.
Anyway, Don then said, you were there for this, right? And Don then said, imagine if that was a business, like, wouldn't it, I'm sure actually, I do think some people sell their breast milk and that they do it as like a side hustle or whatever. But he was like, wouldn't that be interesting if there were like farms? Oh yeah, he was like, wouldn't that be more humane? That's what he said. Would that be more humane than having cow's milk? And since it's breast milk and you're fed on this and you're fed on it, would it be better for you? Because there's a lot about like, we're the only mammal that drinks milk.
He basically seemed to be saying that industrial factory farming of women would be more ethical than the current industrial factory farming of cows.
Thank you for that, CO. That was much better.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And he was positing the question, would it be?
And he was
more
going,
humane?
if the women wanted to work there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, literally, I am married to The Handmaid's Tale. What's his face?
Rafe Fiennes. Yeah. Oh, it's not Rafe, is it? It's Joseph.
Raffi.
No, it's Joseph.
Raffi.
It's Joseph.
It's Joseph. Anyway, I was horrified by that. I was like, he literally
so was I.
As
milk machines. No. He totally doesn't.
He'd be enraged.
Like, I think Don was more trying to have a kind of quasi-philosophical discussion / question, and the two of us were just like, hook us up to machines like cows.
But like, if somebody was willing, would it be okay? Would you be okay with it if this was a job that people did?
You know what?
There's not a decent bra for that though.
I actually have a nursing bra that I bought from Ollie Gray online. I don't know, I think I saw on Instagram. Of course it's on Instagram and I quite like it.
Oh, good.
It's the only good nursing bra. I have a few.
You've got a lot of bad ones.
Pumping bra.
You've got a lot of bad ones.
I know, I got a lot of very
I mean, I don't mean they look bad, but I mean, they don't.
But they look bad. They squash your tits.
No, it was when we went out for lunch that day and you were trying to unstrap it and it was like, could your boob lift up 14 inches, like into the hole that is basically under your armpit? Like,
that was the stupid nursing t-shirt.
They're not very well constructed. Like,
I feel like nursing clothing, like so much clothing, is designed for very slim women with small breasts.
Then what's the problem?
Okay. Back to being milked. It reminds me of, there's a bit in...
Back to being milked. It reminds me of last Friday.
It reminds me of a book I read once, A Moment in Literature. The book by Caitlin Moran. It's not How to Be a Woman. It's the one before that.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Now I'm thinking like this is literally The Handmaid's Tale, whatever. Because I was just going, they've run out of content. Like, what are they going to do now next one after they murdered your man in the woods? Probably going to have milking. I mean, there probably are milking machines in this universe, in this lore. Not milking machines, milking farms.
Ugh. Well, that's basically what the handmaids become. It's after they give the baby, like they give the baby up and then they just have to feed the baby.
Yeah, but like they're not hooked up to machines and they're not paid for it either.
Well, no, so it's kind of worse, isn't it?
Of course, totally worse.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
Okay,
Jesus.
Okay,
and it's not a job that you come and go from. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But like, could you go home?
But
could you go home? Would you be in this farm all day and night?
No, you'd only be in the farm every 2 hours, Beatrice. You couldn't be continually milked. You'd be dry. You'd be
very inconvenient. Would you just be taking breaks in between?
There wouldn't be breaks, Beatrice. You'd be recuperating, as mum would say.
But like, would you be mad? Would you be cracked? But like, maybe are these tiny portable factories that actually like live in your garage?
Yeah, or you could do the like portable breast pumps that you just put in your bra. So you just put them on, have them on all day and turn them on every 2 hours.
No, Rosemary, like, I'm sorry, have you ever, Rosemary, there's lots of regulations, but you can't just, regulations.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
You can't just have
You're walking around, pumping your boobs, smoking marijuana.
Yeah, if you if you even want to make scones, his mom will tell you have to have 2 sinks in your kitchen.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, one of her friends.
2 sinks?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
yes? If you want to sell food, you want to be a caterer,
I
like
meant just to make scones at home. I was like,
no, Rosemary.
Why do you even need 1 sink?
Rosemary, Egypt.
Anyway, sorry, can I get back to it? It reminds me of, there's a bit in Caitlin Moran's first book, I can't remember the name of, where she talks about strip clubs and whether or not it's ethical to have a strip club. And the argument is, like, a lot of the time, excuse me, Atlas, could you stop choking on your jumper and just be quiet?
Atlas shrugged.
She talks about, is it ethical to have a strip club if the women really want to work there? But bear in mind that we're living in like an economy and a societal structure where women are more rewarded, like some women are more rewarded for working in a strip club than they would be for working in an office. And they've more chance of making more money in a strip club than they do of making more money as XYZ, given that women are paid less than men and women are, you know, promoted less than men and blah, blah, blah.
So
and
where
she compared it
where
to...
does the ethical question come into it?
She compared
No,
it to...
I'm being serious. Where's the, like, what does that mean? Like, is it ethical? Why is it unethical?
So she compared it to, which is where I'm getting to.
Sorry.
She basically said that, like, people say strip clubs are fine because the women have free will. And she's like, but you don't have free will in an uneven power structure. And she compared it to, what if I had a laundrette, right? And it was staffed only by people of color and I made them wear plantation era slave garb. And I said, but they really want to work here. Would that be okay? And
Would
like,
it?
that's an extreme example. I don't think it would be okay, no.
I mean, I don't think it would be very PC, but would it be okay if they were paid tons of money and chose to work there? Like, you're not forcing people to work anywhere, right? That's
no, but like the whole thing is we're still living in a society where people of color are hired less, paid less, promoted less. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So like, all other things being equal, would these people want to work there? I mean, we can't tell. But all of the things aren't being equal, therefore you can't really say it's a free choice. You know what I mean?
I feel like those two things are not quite comparable. But I mean,
no, I don't think they are either. But I just thought, I thought it was an interesting analogy, even if it was extreme and perhaps inaccurate.
So please bring this back round to what's this got to do with being milked?
Well, would it be okay to hire women as like milking machines if it was their free will to do it? And I'm like, well, it's only possible to say that it's an ethical and free choice if men can also be milked. And if women can earn as much being milked, like I can earn as much in other jobs as they can being milked for the same hours.
Okay, so assume they can earn as much in other jobs. I mean, I'm not thinking this is going to be a very highly paid job. So imagine...
How much do you think you'd get paid?
I don't know, but you'd have lots of breaks. You could do lots of reading in between.
Yeah, you would have lots of breaks.
No, excuse me, but what's men being milked got to do with it?
Well, because you can only really ask, is it a fair and equitable choice if it's available, a choice that's available to everyone? That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I suppose it wouldn't be available to women of not milking age, women beyond their milk. Did you know, this is slightly related but not, that humans, I heard this in a podcast, so it might not be true, that humans are the only mammals whose females outlive their reproductive age.
Is that true?
Apparently. Like, Google it. Maybe I won't. We'll just pretend it is. I heard in a podcast, therefore I believe it to be true.
So that means that like any other
mammals
can have a baby until a day before it's going to pop its clogs.
No, but like when they reach
until its expiry
when
date.
they reach menopause, that's basically their kind of average mortality. Let me see. Humans are evolutionary oddballs, unlike the vast majority of mammals. Not exactly what I said. Humans with ovaries can live decades after no longer being able to give birth. Most other mammals stay fertile until the tail ends of their lives. Oh yeah, so basically we stop being able to reproduce way before we die, whereas most other mammals they stop being able to reproduce around the time they die. But like what I was listening to was basically saying that because we need grandmas, because we've evolved to a point where our society relies on older generations of women to look after kids and stuff. Oh, I wish I could remember. I think it was The Guardian.
So
I wish I could remember what it was. I always say things are The Guardian if I think people might think I'm lying, but I think it was The Guardian.
So why are men able to be fertile all the way till...
Oh, why are men, Beatrice, full stop, arseholes?
Rosemary, not all men.
Oh,
But why are men like able to be fertile? Like, what's the advantage of that? Not much. Like, why are women not fertile till the end of days? Jesus Christ, these kids. Why was I fertile at all?
To produce these beautiful
That's
angel
my point,
children.
like, with fucking disaster. Like, literally this morning I was going to Don, I was like, this is me in my prime. Is it? In my prime-ish, semi in my prime. I was like, and I can't even enjoy my prime because I'm constantly wrecked, constantly in a bad mood. Like this morning I woke up and then I was hoarse within about 5 seconds, screaming at them, telling them to go and tidy their room. Like, do I care? Do you know what I mean?
I know.
Mess up your room if you want. Like the shit that I find myself saying is just so boring. I'd prefer to be in a fucking milk machine.
I know.
Milked.
I'm literally like, put your Lego Titanic down from the table. Put your Lego Titanic away. Did you know the Titanic, William? I love Titanic facts. Lies, I don't. I love Titanic facts. Not right now. Not right now. Not tonight, love. Never works.
Tonight, love. That's inappropriate.
But listen, you love your kids. Then we had a glorious afternoon at the mall where one of them threw a fit and hid and was only discovered at the moment at which I was explaining to mall security he's wearing a pastel-coloured tie-dye hoodie.
He's very stylish. His hair looks like he's been a semi-shorn hedgehog. And he's delighted with himself. Yeah, I could have murdered him.
Oh my God.
I almost took his tiny Ninjago gloves and threw them back.
He's very clever. What age is he? 5?
Mm-hmm.
He knew how to get at us. He was like, I'm going to go and hide in these fitting. I'm going to throw a stinker and go and hide in these fitting rooms.
No, I don't think he's more one of the ones who, like, when he gets upset, he goes and hides.
Oh, I thought he was just trying to cause maximum chaos.
Oh no, I don't think so. He got upset because I went to do a boogie down with him. There was some really good music happening in the H&M aisles. So I went to do like a mom boogie with him and I accidentally clipped him in the eye with the hardware on my handbag.
Even if you hadn't clipped him in the eye, mom tried to do a boogie down with me in H&M would be enough reason for any child.
Now that I say that, I'm like, I clipped him in the eye with the hardware on my handbag. And then in Starbucks, I like almost Bo did a face plant into the fork that I was holding. Had a very dangerous angle. When I think about it now, I had the plate in one hand and then the fork like sticking out to the left. Like the kind of shit that if they did it, I'd be like, being
so stupid.
So ridiculous. So dangerous.
You do not point a fork at anyone.
Yeah, hold that
I think
fork.
I've said those words.
Hold that
quite
fork
recently.
Forking downwards.
Well, you know what? That's the difference between me and you because Chance later on walked into the corner of my box of crackers and I said, should have looked where you were going.
Such a bitch. And then,
I know. But he didn't even look upset, then he just looked enraged.
And then Bo, he's got a nasty little temper. And then Bo was reading his book and just walked straight into a pole. I mean, actually a lot. It was a very eventful 4 hours.
Sorry, also hilarious. Bo said, when we get to H&M, can I sit down and read my book? And you said yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
We walk into H&M, you and I begin looking at a shirt. Suddenly I look down. Bo is sitting, the 8-year-old, cross-legged on the floor reading his book. I'm like, that's not what we meant.
Do you know what? I appreciate that though. I appreciate a little bookworm. I love that.
I know. I wish our kids were bookworms.
Maybe they will be.
I do not want to read.
Well, in fairness, you also told me that you never bring them to the book.
I've never brought them to the bookshop.
Like I bring them to the bookshop as entertainment. This is where we're going on a Saturday.
I think they'd be like, we don't want to go to the bookshop, but they've never been to the bookshop.
Well, maybe you should bring them to the library. You could join the library. The library's
I actually
fun
keep meaning to join the library because they have like activities on Saturdays and stuff, and it's meant to be very nice. And has the largest genealogy section in the United States.
I meant the local one. That's the big one in downtown.
Oh, where's the local one?
It's like over beside Kroger.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little branch there.
Back to the apocalypse.
Oh yeah.
Which of your children do you think would survive the apocalypse? If any.
Probably Chance. He's very cunning. He hides very well and he really is. He's vindictive. The other day he made Nash's nose bleed really badly. And he literally...
that's not vindictive. That's just reactive. Nash was annoying him.
No. It was the calm afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
There was no, there was no shock or remorse. It was just like, well...
That's done.
Zombie got what he deserved. Yeah.
Zombie.
Yeah. In the apocalypse. Who else would survive? I mean, that's about it. I mean, Nash maybe. Nash might still be up on his Oculus, not even aware that the apocalypse has happened. The apocalypse.
I think of our kids, maybe Finn, because Finn can be very quiet and very still. So I think he just stand in the corner and the zombies wouldn't even see him. Like he could blend in with the zombies.
Well, I'm having totally different now. I'm thinking if we could barricade up the windows, create a quick milking machine for you, put you in a room, this room, you could live in here.
Am I getting all the food though?
You're getting some of the food, Rosemary.
If I'm going to keep the rest of your life, I want all the food.
Rosemary, you're going to get some of the food, all right? You're not going to get as much food as you currently get.
Can I just point out, you're so fucking annoying. We're like, will I order food from us from PF Chang's? Yeah, I don't want anything. And then we get home, I decided I'm having half of yours because you ordered so much.
Well, it looked like a lot.
It wasn't that much.
Well, I went out and there were 3 main courses.
No, there weren't. It was just so wet and chewing on his jumper. It was just an orange chicken and then some dumplings. It looked like a main course. That's the starter.
And there's a massive fried rice and some spring rolls.
Oh, the fried rice was for Dawn and the spring rolls were allegedly for you and you didn't eat them.
A likely story.
Just because you don't know your husband. I hate fried rice.
Oh, yeah, I know. And I had like poo-pooed so many of the other things.
I know.
And he's like, I love PF Chang's.
Yeah.
I love that chicken and broccoli.
And I'd gone, what about the chicken and broccoli? You were like, he won't eat that.
Tofu and broccoli.
Tofu and broccoli, sorry.
It's very difficult to pick food for. Like, he always hates some random ingredient and he hates onions, which basically eliminates
in everything.
99% of any meal from anywhere.
And then conveniently sometimes he's like, no, I'll eat that. And you're like, why?
But one of his favourite things is French onion soup. Like, you cannot make this up. They're sweet. There's no onion flavour left in them. Yeah. Rosemary, don't look at me like that.
I honestly, you know what you should do? You should get some French onion soup and you should dry it out. You should boil it on the hob till all the liquid's gone. Dry out, and then crunch them up inside his pillow.
What?
Yeah, crunch up those sweet onions inside his pillow.
Rosemary, if we're in the apocalypse, I won't be wasting food like that.
We're not in the apocalypse.
But if we were,
this isn't in the apocalypse. I'm just saying, just because John's annoying me now.
Do you know what? The other thing is, if we were in the apocalypse, I'd go back to planting all my vegetables. I wasn't very good at it, and you know, you really need a lot of acreage to plant veggies because they take up a lot of space. Remember that year I did the squashes?
Should you just stick your finger in your eye?
Oh, Rosemary, put him on your boob, would you not?
Oh yeah, I don't think he's going to want it.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, she likes my boob now.
Why do you always have to be so weird about your boobs? Everything has to be a weird boob comment. Like, you just always have to make it weird. Now, there you go. Latch onto that big old ditty.
Why do you have to be so weird about my boobs?
Big old biddy.
Do you think you could eat someone in the apocalypse?
I mean, can I cook them first?
Yes, Beatrice.
Do I have to cut them up and skin them myself?
I don't know, but you have to watch it being done.
Rosemary, I'm pretty sure I could do anything I needed to do in the apocalypse, except for run fast.
Could you eat gravy in someone else's house?
I wouldn't be in someone else's house.
Okay, well, what if the only food left was gravy from a can? Could you drink that? Could you just drink it straight? All you've got left is gravy and mayonnaise.
Oh, Rosemary, what a disgusting combination. Do you know what wasn't? What was I reading a while ago that people like? What are the things in your house that you could eat? Like, there are things that like leather and stuff that people would eat, right?
Yeah.
Can leather. You eat shoe leather? Like, is that a thing?
Yeah, I think. Well,
Don's a vegetarian. He'd have to eat my PU shoes from H&M. Rosemary, can you make gravy out of breast milk? You are going to be full of. I'm literally going to be like, pump some more into that, Rosemary. We're making some gravy in here. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure you can make rice pudding.
Perfect. Perfect. And then Bo had a dream the other day that he was out with Grandpa.
Aww.
And he saw chocolate nuggets on the ground and he ate them and they turned out they were poo. So I was like, so he
was
could bring
that a
in
dream or was
it
that
was a dream
recollection?
So he could bring in those chocolate nuggets for the rice pudding. Be delicious. We could forage for berry. I'd be dead in a minute.
I'd be
poison,
dead. I was
all
just
the
about
poison.
to say, the mushrooms. I'd be dead in 2 seconds.
There was a very, very, very disgusting, stinky thing in the back garden last summer. Did you see it? It looked like a massive tall penis just growing out of the ground. And when I looked at it, and it stank. And it was called something like stinkophorus. Making that up, but like it was something stinky, but it was horrendous looking. And I wanted to take a picture to show you how horrendous, like literally it was like a male appendage just protruding out of the ground.
Beatrice, everybody knows what a penis is.
Yeah,
you literally said it looked like a penis and then it looked like a male appendage.
Yeah,
you should have said male appendage first and then said
penis. I didn't want to say penis multiple times. Anyway.
Peni.
Actually, I looked that up in the dictionary the other day. And
it's penises.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know, because I was trying to do it in, I was trying to put it in the... I was trying to put it in that this is like bad. I need to finish this sentence. I was trying to put it into the spelling bee. Thank you. Yes, Rosemary. And it wasn't a thing. I was like, why will this not go in? See, Rosemary, those are the jokes I appreciate.
Wonderful. That was wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. So, anyway, in the apocalypse, we're cooking. I mean, I feel like there are actually lots of things. So we can grow some veggies. We've got a ton of milk.
I think you can probably eat tree bark as well. Some trees. Like grasses and stuff. Daisy, Vinny,
Dandelions.
fish.
Oh, that one. That fish is very fat downstairs.
I know, he'd be a lot eating on him.
Sadly, there's only 2 frogs left, so the frog legs will be fighting over them.
Where are the frogs gone?
According to Don, he was acting very nonchalant, and I'm like, I'm not sure I believe this, but he's like, maybe this. He was like, they only live 12 months. They're all there. They're all dead. Like you got to get new ones. I was like, is that true? Is that what he's going to tell me? You know, in the apocalypse, if the kids disappear.
What if the frogs have just got out of the tank and are roaming around the house somewhere? Wouldn't actually be surprised.
Oh,
just what we need. Ski roast. What would be in your? What is in your go? Do you have a go bag? You told me once that Don has a go bag.
Yeah, I know. We already had this conversation
on the podcast. I don't think we did.
Yes, we did. We talked about how Don. Yes, we did. We talked about how Don, before we had a baby, planned to rescue me from the meatpacking district, and then once he had the baby,
was like, forget it. And just rescuing the baby.
Yeah.
What would be in one's go bag? Matches?
I wouldn't be going anywhere. I already told you this. I'd be barricading myself into the house. We have a septic system. We have like a well. We don't even need mains. I'd be getting some. The house is made of timber. We could burn it for light. We'll have no electricity at this point,
light?
Right? There'll be no electricity at this point.
If there's daylight, there'll be interesting.
No, I'm talking about like at nighttime. If you need to have candles and stuff. I just mean when we run out of candles and we run out of kerosene.
You can burn the books first.
Yeah, of course. And it'll be a plank at a time. I won't be setting the house on fire.
Okay, sorry. I was like, you're not going to have anywhere to live.
I know you were, you absolute plonker. You were looking totally baffled. It's like one plank at a time. I will burn it. And I will hold it aloft and keep the zombies away also.
Plank by plank.
Are there zombies in this scenario?
Well, I don't know if they're like, but if there's any kind of apocalypse, there are going to be zombies in the form of people who go absolutely feral. So that's what I like. Yeah. I don't know if there's going to be actual zombies, but there are going to be people with guns trying to take your stuff. You know what I mean?
Willing to do whatever it takes.
Exactly. Foaming at the mouth.
Trying to steal my milk machine. I'll defend you.
Oh, for fuck's
I will defend you.
Move on.
You know what?
You know what?
I was going to say I'd almost get pregnant again so we could have double the output, but no.
I'm trying to think. Okay, a tiny mirror. Although actually I'm thinking more about if you got stranded on a desert island. Because you know they always want to try and signal to something in the air with the mirror.
There's nothing to signal to.
I know. Sorry, I'm like,
we're going. There's no go bag. We're going to lock ourselves. Okay,
but I'm going to be in my house.
So you're going to be. You're going to be over here, hooked up to pipes, tethered, shackled to the wall, pumping milk. Rosemary, here's more a question. What is the last thing if you were doing one final shop at Kroger? What would you get? What would you be buying in this probably denuded? And you saw the supermarket the week before it snowed here for 4 days. People knew they'd be in their houses. So what are the 5 things? It's not desert island discs. It's a desert island. It's a
desert island miscellaneous.
Oh, it's apocalypse shopping.
Okay.
A shopalypse. What would you be purchasing?
5 things.
5 things. You can only buy 5. They can be of any size or cost. What would they be? You will never be in a supermarket again. You will only have milk to liquefy things with. You will have fresh garden veggies. They will probably be rather tasteless and hard, as my squash were. Underwhelming. Oh, the tomatoes were quite nice.
Like, if I get all the tins of Heinz baked beans they have, does that count as the 5 things?
No. Yeah, that's 5 tins.
Okay. Well, then I would get an enormous bag of potatoes.
Okay, fine. It doesn't need to be efficient. You can get all the tins of baked beans and that's one thing.
I'm getting all the tins of baked beans. I feel like...
Baked beans?
I love baked beans.
I hate baked beans.
I love baked beans.
They're so gross.
They've got protein. They've got sugar.
Texture.
Very filling.
Oh. It's like so slimy.
No, delicious. Baked beans.
Ugh.
Loads of potatoes.
Okay.
Because I've read my famine lore and they're like, Ireland was surviving only on potatoes. But every vitamin and nutrient.
We'll be growing them in the back garden.
Can I just... all the Diet Coke they have. I'll leave it out in the snow.
Rosemary. It's
Beatrice.
There's 8 of us in the house.
Okay, sorry. Baked beans, potatoes. I've forgotten everything I ever learned about nutrition. Avocados.
No,
Rosemary, you can't. No, avocados. We're not growing them. Oh.
You're supposed to be thinking about the well-being of everybody here.
Avocados, and they'll all go off on the same fucking day. They won't be ripe ever, and then on the same day they'll all go off.
Get some dried stuff. Like, what's wrong with you? Get some rice.
Oh, sorry. I was assuming we already had that. Rice.
All the rice.
Loads of rice.
Okay, what else?
And I'll even bring over my Instant Pot so we can cook it efficiently. All the rice, potatoes, baked beans. So you're saying we have the veg.
Yeah, we've all the veggies.
I think I'd probably buy get a lot of citrus fruit. Citrus fruit lasts a long time. You can preserve lemons and oranges, and it's essential for vitamin C. I don't want to get scurvy. And then my fifth thing,
I think that was 5. You said potatoes.
Baked beans, potatoes, rice, citrus fruits, and frozen. Oh no, we don't have the fucking freezer, do we? Is the apocalypse happening in winter or summer? Could you just give me that? Is it happening right now, like in this weather?
Yeah, it's happening in this terrible weather.
Okay, well then I'd get something from the frozen section that I could leave outside for a while. Like frozen fruit, like frozen raspberries, frozen strawberries.
Yeah, because there's no electricity. I was going to fill the freezer. That'd be stupid.
Are you idiot? I should have let you go first.
Okay.
Your 5 things?
I'm going to get all the wine in the 3 aisles of Kroger.
Beatrice, you're shopping for 8 people. You're keeping all of us alive.
No. What I actually said was the well-being of everybody, and me being well stocked with wine will be for the well-being of everybody. So
okay, so we've got wine.
We've got 3 aisles of wine. I'm actually excited about this.
You look so happy. She looks delighted. She's like, this is going to be grand.
I'm actually delighted about
apocalypse
this.
Sounds great. No work, loads of wine. No cooking for anybody. Perfect.
Okay, all the pasta.
All the pasta.
The pasta. I mean, I'm talking about this specific Kroger now. It's about 12 aisles of pasta and only about 2 of rice. So
do you have a pasta shell preference? Shape? Like, what's your favourite shape?
I like spaghetti, actually.
Oh, I like the wheels. You can never get them anymore.
Remember the ones that drive me mad are the stupid farfalle, like the
bows.
One. Yeah, bows.
Oh, I don't mind the bows.
They're
got
just
the bows last
hard
time.
to get al dente because like the outside cooks so much quicker than the inside.
Yeah,
and
true.
they annoy me. I actually don't mind like the
little butterfly wings are always real soft.
I don't mind i spirali.
You mean fusilli?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, go on. So you've got pasta, you've got wine.
Okay, I've got. Oh, it's actually amazing.
You just want to go to Italy.
I'm in Italy. It's amazing.
Go on. What else?
All the tins in the tin aisle.
That's no. Pick one tin.
Okay.
Pick one variety of tin.
All the chopped tomatoes.
Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, they've got a lot of vitamin C in them.
Loads of them.
Good idea.
Loads of them.
Good idea.
And
this is actually all this stuff was still in stock.
Oh, all the dog food. And if worse comes to worse, we can all eat that.
Oh, I thought you were going to say if worse comes to worse, we can eat Daisy after we fattened her up.
Oh. She's like foie gras.
I'm
sorry,
sure there's
shouldn't be laughing about foie gras. Sorry.
I'm sure there's like some kind of human grade kibble. Like, what's like kibble? Cereal.
Oh, I hate cereal.
I know. Well, I don't.
The only one I like is Rice Krispies.
Oh, you know what? I love Frosties.
Oh, I hate anything sugary for breakfast.
Oh no, I love it.
I hate the way the milk gets sugary.
Oh,
that gives
no,
me the
love
absolute
it.
creeps.
You know what else I love? Cocoa Pops.
I hate the way the milk gets chocolatey.
Such a weird.
Oh God, I hate it.
I feel like everybody on the planet, their favourite part is that the milk gets chocolatey.
Is it really? Is that not disgusting? I hate chocolate milk. You'd be surprised to hear.
I'm shocked. Okay, fifth thing.
I'm trying to think about what's in the supermarket. I mean, I'd say the entire cheese aisle, but I feel like that's going to go off too quickly.
Well, no, Beatrice. If you got some wheels of cheese, closed wheels of cheese, they could last 2 years.
Yeah, until I open them. I mean, I'm also not in Italy, so I'm not actually getting like the Parmesan wheels. I'm getting that they're already all cut up. Okay,
yeah.
I'll tell you, the entire cracker aisle, all the crackers. Oh wait, all the nuts, the nut aisle.
Pick one nut, Beatrice.
No, all of the nuts.
No, Beatrice. Pick one variety of nuts.
Salted cashews. Probably should say almonds. Good enough for Obama. 9 almonds a night, apparently. That was his indulgence. I mean, these are the stories when I go, I just don't know why I can't lose weight. And then it's like, that's why.
9 almonds.
9 almonds a night. He counted them. 9.
My God, I actually saw on the frosted wheats box yesterday that said suggested serving 16 pieces.
16 pieces?
Yeah.
Is that not like, would that not be a saucer of cereal?
Yeah. I've been putting, honestly, I've had having about 64 pieces of cereal and that's only in my first bowl.
I mean, I'd say you'd be shocked. Say if you actually counted them, you're like, oh, I meant 640.
No, there aren't that many in the box.
Oh.
This was the family box that lasted about 3 days.
Anyway, so now we have loads of pasta. We have tomatoes.
We have rice.
We have dog food. No. We only one of us got to go to the supermarket. This is in my reality. And we've all the wine. So like you guys can eat whatever you want. I'm just going to lie over here drunk.
And eating pasta.
No, I know. You guys can eat the food. I'll drink the wine.
Oh. Well, you wouldn't be very useful like after a couple of weeks then.
Grand. It's the apocalypse. Like what? I've given up.
I thought you said you wouldn't give up. You wanted to live.
Yeah, until the wine's
not enough
gone.
to drink the breast. Oh.
But I mean, my point is like, what's going on now? All I'm doing is being terrified, looking through these boarded up windows, shuddering with dread in case some weirdo's coming around the corner ready to like lop the head off me.
It's
Right?
it's gonna be a great apocalypse.
You're getting really grumpy because
No.
you're exhausted being
I'm
shackled
really
up.
grumpy already. You're just gonna be drunk. You're gonna be like, John, there's someone coming up the driveway. They're hilarious. Look at them. Look at the way they're walking.
I wouldn't be he was like, it's me.
Thank you all so much, Atlas. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of Not Without My Sister, where I think you'll agree we talked a lot of sense.
A lot.
A lot. Bye.
Bye.
Not Without My Sister is produced by Liam Garrity, sound and original music by Don Kirkland, and our original illustration is by Lindsay Nielsen.
Not Without My Sister is a member of The Warren, the home of great Irish podcasts. As is my podcast, Meet Your Maker. You'll find more great shows at thewarren.ie.